You don't have to wait to guess which team we are going to talk about right now because you can tell by the grin on Sarvesh's face that it's going to be his home team, the Mumbai Indians. And I don't have a t shirt that quite says Indians on it, but that's why I've just found an able replacement which says India and not Indians. Mumbai Indians, probably the most talked about franchise in the world. They won this title 5 times. A fantastic team, a fantastic franchise. Um, Lots to talk about them. Surrounded by controversy this season. Uh, Mumbai is the home of also Bollywood, where scripts are made and a lot of masala is put into films and all of that. Seems to have dripped down into the cricket as well because a blockbuster story written none other by Salim Javed would have been proud of this. A player from the team goes to another team, becomes the captain there, wins the title in his first season, is runner up in the second season of the last ball of the tournament, and then dramatically comes back into the Mumbai side again as captain of Mumbai. You cannot write a script for this, Sarvesh. How do you see the things that have panned out so far in that Mumbai Indians camp?
Honestly, I did not expect that to happen this season. I mean, it could have happened in the future, maybe 1 year, 2 years down the line, but I was not expecting to happen this to happen this early. So I was a bit surprised by this decision because of the not because of the way that not because it actually happened. I was expecting it to happen, but not so soon, and also the fact that I personally felt that this could have been handled in a much better manner. The announcement and the entire transition could have been presented in a much better manner. That did not happen, and this is something which creates the news, right? I mean, you're giving enough reasons to all the fans to actually make stories about what could have happened behind the doors or what has happened behind the doors. Nobody knows what has happened, but people are making stories about it because of the handling of this issue. It was not handled correctly, in my opinion. But I think what has happened has happened. I think it's we are just a day away from the new season, and let's not forget these are professional players. I mean, of course there are emotions involved. I mean, at the end of the day, you'll have to play as per according to the management decision. You'll have to just go with it. I mean, I'm not saying that what happened is correct or incorrect or things like that. I'm not going there. What I'm saying is that it's a team and they will have to play cricket from tomorrow. So that's how I see this.
I've just got one question in my mind. Like I've been watching this saga unfold over so many weeks and so many days now. Um, we all have our opinions about what happened and whether it was the right thing, whether it wasn't the right thing. And as you rightly said, could have been handled in a much better way. Now, these are business owners who run multi-million dollar companies. The least you'd expect of them is to get this part right because they don't know their cricket, but they know management one on one, and they should be really getting this right, shouldn't they? Why do you think we get it wrong so many times? I mean, we've seen it in the past. In the New Zealand context, Ross Taylor was fired as captain, Brendan McCullum was made captain. Was it the right thing to do? Yes, it was. Was it done in the right thing? Absolutely not. It was an epic shambles. The same thing happens when Virat Kohli is removed as captain. You know, the BCCI made a big hash of the whole issue, and it got talked about for so long. And you think with every passing event, somebody is going to learn something from this and make sure this doesn't happen the next time. But yet, it keeps happening, and it keeps providing fodder to all the page three newspapers out there.
Yeah, you expect MI management. I mean, MI management have done great things in the past. They have got almost all their decisions correctly. Whatever they do, the way they handle all those youngsters, the way they have been giving support to the players when their form was not good. We have seen this happen with Pollard and so many other players. When they were down, they were down in form. The team backed them. All the players. Whenever the team is not doing well, the Ambani family and the owners, they're always there. They are always there with a big smile. They will say they'll always back that team. That's the kind of support that they always they have been giving this to this team. So this has been happening for like more than a decade, all last 14, 15 years. This has been happening continuously. So I don't think they have got plenty of things incorrectly. I think this could be the one of the few things that could have been done in a better manner. But otherwise, if you see that team, if you see that management, they have done almost all things correctly. But this was a very critical thing. And when emotions are involved, and sometimes you just have to take a different route and handle things in a better manner. I mean, the decisions, the cricketing reasons, and everything, all the justifications, everything is in one place, and then how you handle the emotions is another thing. So I think these two things, I don't know. I mean, they could have, like I said, they could have been combined in a much better manner. Things could have been handled in a much better manner. I mean, I'm personally not happy with the way it has happened. I mean, you don't want to see these things being spoken about your favorite team. I'll be honest. I mean, you don't like these things. I mean, we always associate them with the titles and all the good players that they have been producing. Bumrah, Hardik Pandya, all the good work that they have been doing, and suddenly you see something like this written about that team. I mean, you don't like it. And like I said, this team has done almost everything in a correct manner. This could be one of the few things that there was some margin that they could have done better. But I think, like I said, just a day to go, and we'll have to get on with it. We'll have to start the new season.
And rightly said that it's time to move on now. Enough has been said, enough has been written. Hardik Pandya is the captain.
Yeah.
Rohit Sharma will play for MI this season. And post that, Rohit Sharma will be India captain and Hardik
Absolutely.
Pandya will play for India in that T20 World Cup. That is the
Absolutely.
fact. And
Absolutely.
let's just live with that. All right, let's get a crack on and see what they did last year. Well, as we can see, finished fourth on that table in the league stage, 16 points, 8 wins. So yeah, they just did just what is required to qualify and get into that. But obviously, they were coming off a horrendous season before that. So that performance of making it to the playoffs was brilliant because along with Chennai, I remember Mumbai and Chennai were the last two teams on that ladder in the previous year. So phenomenal turnaround from there. Things were not perfect for them even last year. There were issues, there were problems, but they managed to forget about all of that and find a way to deliver. Can you tell us a bit more about their stats from last year?
Yeah, like we just spoke about Lucknow, they did not have Rahul for like more than half a season. This team did not have the services of Jasprit Bumrah for entire season, and without Bumrah and without Jofra Archer for majority of the part, because he was not looking at his best, and we saw that Jofra Archer actually stepped away. He was replaced, so replaced by Chris Jordan. So these things have happened, and you expect when you two premier bowlers, when you lose them, you expect the team's attack not as good as, I mean, obviously if you lose your two key players, then you are not as good as you were before. So again, but still, despite all these things happening, this team was there in top four. They were there, and they were a step away from qualifying for the final. And that brilliance of Shubman Gill was the reason they lost there. Otherwise, they were pretty much there in that semi-final, in that qualifier too as well. So I think it's a positive sign. It's a good sign that they went this far without Bumrah. This season, Bumrah will be there, so they will take a huge positive from last season, and they'll look to build on this. And looking at the season, obviously it's Mumbai Indians. They will start with a loss. It was RCB this time that who got benefited with 2 points in the first game. They lost against CSK. They lost, in fact, 2 games against CSK this season. And apart from that, then 3 games in a row they won. Again lost 2, then again won 2. So it was you would say that it was not a typical Mumbai Indians season, because Indians, as we know, once they get going, they don't stop. They'll go all the way and they'll win the title. It was not that kind of a season, but it was still good enough for them to make it to the top 4.
I'm sure we'll talk about their. I mean, you don't need to say anything about Sky. We've seen he's got 605 runs. There's stellar season again. Ishan Kishan in the runs, Cameron Green in the runs. But and I'm sure we'll talk about him a little bit more. But Piyush Chawla, 22 wickets. What an absolutely stunning season for him.
Yeah.
He is at, I wouldn't even call it the sunset of his career. Um, uh, People might be mistaken for thinking he's already playing in one of those Legends series kind of a cricketer. But here he is competing with the best in the world on the biggest stage of them all, picking up 22 wickets. It's been a dream run, hasn't it?
Absolutely, we did not expect Chawla to be that good. We expected. I personally felt that he would do well, but may not play all the games. But he would still do well. But what he has done last season, I mean, not just the wickets. The 22 wickets are there, of course, but it's not just the wickets. It's the time. It's the amount of what do you say? The timing of those wickets that came. He took wickets at a very crucial, at all crucial junctures. He was there. He was giving Mumbai that edge. He was basically giving that extra additional option. Captain was going to him whenever he needed that wicket. At the start of the season, nobody expected this to happen, but every time he was giving timely wickets, he was getting the settled batsman out. So that's a very good sign. So I felt that he was pretty much there. He probably had his best season of last 4 5 years. I mean, I haven't seen him bowl that well after uh, apart from his KKR days. Once after those KKR days, I have not seen him in bowl that well again. So yeah, it was again one of those positives. And so the second positive is right there, right next to Piyush Chawla. It's Akash Madhwal, 14 wickets. None of us expected this. I was watching Diva Patil Trophy earlier last season, and I saw that Akash Madhwal he was going for runs. They were taking 40 50 runs off his 4 overs. He was not getting enough wickets, and when he made his debut, Mumbai Indians debut, I felt that maybe it's not the right decision, but he proved me wrong. He proved many others wrong. He was fabulous. The kind of spells that he had, that 5 wicket spell that he bowled against LSG, match winner, absolutely fabulous. And that slippery action of his, that typical in swinging delivery that he bowls. I think he's a very good prospect again. He's not the youngest. He's around 20, 28, 29. He plays for Uttarakhand, but he's one of those players who has come from the tennis ball universe, and he's now making it to the at this level. So again, very good prospect this time.
I do love the fact that he bowls at pace and he can get the ball to swing and swing late, because that was the key. When I remember that spell that you're talking about, the 5 wicket haul, he was bowling it at pace and he was getting it to tail in
No,
with the slightly older ball, and it was swinging and swinging late. Typical of that slinging action that you say. Um, uh, if you look at their batters, obviously we've already spoken about Sky. We've spoken about Cameron Green and Ishan Kishan. Um, but again, Rohit Sharma, the batter, in the IPL, not doing justice to his own talent, and probably the one of the primary reasons for the change in the captaincy, isn't it, Sarvesh?
it's probably. I mean, whenever you see Rohit Sharma in IPL, you will feel that this guy could do a lot more. I mean, if you see, he has 5 centuries in T20 internationals, but not a similar record in IPL. Uh, because IPL in IPL, Mumbai Indians used have been playing this another brand of cricket. I think the aggressive brand of cricket. At the Indian team, the philosophy, it it could change. It could change with different coaches, different setup. But IPL, I think he had this one role where once he started opening, he had this role of where he will just go out and express himself. I think, yeah, like you said, he could do. I mean, we all know he could do a lot better. We all know he could go on and score 700, 800 runs, 3 4 centuries easily in a season. That's the kind of player he is. When we talk about batting, like, we keep Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli right here, and then there's a gap, and then the other batters. So that's the kind of stature these guys have. So yeah, he could easily. I mean,
The question that
this season, I think with him not captaining, I think this could be the season where he could actually go out and score 500, 600 runs. I mean, who knows?
I have another question in that context, though. Is Rohit Sharma's selflessness as
Yeah,
a batter proving to be in the way of him scoring big runs?
absolutely. When you talk about Rohit Sharma, the selflessness comes with it. No matter what format he is playing, Test, One Day, T20, any format, IPL. I mean, I've never seen him do any selfish things. He'll always play for the team, always do things. He'll always think of his teammates. He'll always take those excessive risks and make sure that his teammates get that additional time, because, and he'll try to create that kind of a space for his teammates. He's like that. He's like that shock absorber. He'll take those shocks on him. He'll try to absorb and keep his team away from all those shocks. So that's the kind of absorbing player he has been. Selfless, and like you rightly said, so that has reflected in his numbers as well. Numbers may not look great, but that the kind of attitude, the kind of on field and of the field bond that you get from Rohit is priceless.
Well, all I can say is I love his selfless attitude, but I also want to see a bit of Khadus Mumbai cricketer in him who puts a price tag on his wicket sometimes, because I think sometimes he is also guilty of throwing away some of his good starts that he has in by not being Khadus and not putting a price tag on his wicket. Well, enough said.
Yeah.
What about the bowlers? How did they go last year?
Let me make a prediction, Rahul. I think maybe we'll come back to this later. I think I see him scoring 100 this season. I'm talking about Rohit. 100 this season, maybe he'll come very close to scoring 100, but I think 100 is on the cards this season, is what I feel. Maybe at Wankhede, but let's see how it goes after the season ends. We'll come back to this stream and we'll see. We'll revisit this.
Okay. And on this podcast, I will say that if Rohit Sharma scores 100 and Sarvesh's prediction comes true, I will buy him a vada pav that he can eat at home, and I will get it delivered to him using one of those delivery services in Mumbai. All right, that's a deal.
Yeah, yeah, done.
Okay, so bowlers, we've already spoken about Piyush Chawla. We've spoken about Madwal, spoken about Behrendorff. Behrendorff obviously not available this
Yeah.
season, so a bit of spanner in the works for the Mumbai overseas plans.
Yeah, Mumbai had two overseas seamers, Behrendorff and Dilshan Madhushanka. Both of them they have been ruled out, and we have Luke Wood. We'll discuss about them in the sections after this. And so the thing is that with Jason Behrendorff, what Mumbai got was some consistent power play bowling, because he knows how to swing the ball and he has taken crucial wickets in the power play, and that is something which Mumbai always wanted, because Mumbai normally rely on Jasprit Bumrah to deliver at the back end. They keep his overs. They keep three of his overs for the later stages. Sometimes he's called on to bowl 1 over in the middle phase and then 2 overs at the back end, and he just bowls 1 over at the start. So Mumbai require somebody to step up at the start. They have always done this. They have always relied on some of the overseas bowlers, like you have seen with Trent Bolt or Malinga or all those bowlers that Mumbai had. They always wanted these guys to pick up wickets so that somebody like Bumrah or Malinga could actually bowl those overs, crucial overs at the back end. So Jason Behrendorff was doing that job. He is not there this season. We'll see when we discuss about the squad about the replacement players.
I guess one of the things that you think about when you talk about overseas fast bowlers and why they've had so many over the years and how successful they've been, the pitch at the Wankhede plays a
Yeah.
massive role in that, being fast and bouncy. And bounce leads me into a very important rule change in
Yeah.
this IPL. Tell us about this two bouncers per over rule, Sarvesh.
So now fast bowlers, I mean, bowlers will be allowed to bowl two bounces per over. So for fast bowlers now they had a limit of one bouncer per over. Now it has been extended to two bouncers per over. Now there is a lot of discussion going on this topic. A lot of things have been said, but I personally feel that I've just tried to narrowed it down to some numbers. And if you take 20 overs, then in 20 overs you're allowed to bowl 20 additional bouncers, right? One extra bouncer per over. So all 20 overs are not going to be bowled by the seamers. There will be 8 or 9 overs of spin. So just take out those 8-9 overs. Let's say we have 12 overs of seam bowling, and in those 12 overs, not all the seamers are going to bowl two bouncers per over. There will be stages of the game, like the initial stage, where in first 2 overs, bowlers will look to swing the ball. They may not bowl. They may not utilize that two bouncers. They may not utilize that second bouncer. So what I'm trying to say is that even out of those 12 bouncers, let's say 3 to 4 overs are bowled without that second bouncer, then again we are down to those 7 or 8 bouncers only. So if you talk about numbers, then it's just 7 or 8 bouncers, additional bouncers in an innings of 120 balls. It comes down to around 6, 7, 8%. So like we are talking about that additional 6, 7% that which could result in that extra bouncer. I think it's not a huge change if you consider in terms of if you consider in aggregated terms for a team to team to handle that extra 6, 7% of bouncers. It's not a huge deal. I don't see any team getting a huge advantage or disadvantage in this, but having said this, if you look at the bowlers, let's say if somebody is very good at bowling those bouncers. Let's talk about Bumrah because we are talking about Mumbai Indians. Let's say it's Bumrah. We know the kind of lethal bouncer that he has got. So for him, it was 4 bouncers per over. Now it has been extended to 8 bouncers per over. So that's 100% increase in his 100% increase in that limit. So actually, in my opinion, this can help some of the bowlers who are good at bowling this. So on aggregated terms, batting team can manage this. There is not a huge advantage or disadvantage, but for some bowlers, it is going to play a very huge role. And this is just a direct impact that I'm talking. There could be indirect impacts as well. I'll explain that. So let's say on the second ball, a bowler bowls a bouncer. Now the batter knows. I'm talking about the previous scenario. Before only one bouncer was allowed. I'm talking about this scenario. Now, if a bowler has bowled that bouncer on the second ball, now the batter knows that next 4 balls are not going to be there in that region. Now he knows that there is no second bouncer coming because one bouncer has been bowled. Now, in this current setup, batsman will keep thinking, if let's say for till the fifth ball, only one bouncer is bowled, he'll keep thinking that another bouncer could come. So earlier, the batters would take that calculated risk, which is required in T20 cricket. That premeditation, all those things. Earlier the batsman could actually go and do that. Now those batsmen, they cannot do that. They will have to think a bit. But again, this is all the part of that indirect impact, that mental aspect. But you expect the quality of batters that we have in IPL to handle this kind of situation with superior technical ability. I mean, if you bowl 6 bouncers to Rohit Sharma at Wankhede, he will dispatch all those 6 bouncers at Marine Drive. So you will just have to go and uh, get new balls after every ball. So that's the kind of player he is, and you expect these kind of players to handle the situation better. So I think I don't see a huge disadvantage or advantage to any of the batters, but yes, bowlers, they will get some advantage.
I was just going to say that with the modern bats that we have, the boundaries coming in, the ball flying off the bats, bouncers, top edges are going for sixes now. So, it's not very difficult.
Exactly.
And regardless of what is bowled, the batsman will have a go at it.
Yeah.
And you will see probably more boundaries being scored as well because as a result,
Yeah.
especially at the 1K day. On some different surfaces, you might have a different result. But yeah, on a ground like Wankhede, which is a six-sitting ground, it is going to be very difficult to contain the batters just because you're allowed to bowl that extra
Yeah.
bouncer, unless you're someone like Bumrah who's got a lethal one
Yeah.
and who's
Exactly.
got a bit of pace to
Exactly.
trouble someone.
Yeah. If somebody knows how to use
Right.
those bouncers, then I think there is a clear-cut advantage that we will see. But
Yeah.
let's have it like you rightly said.
Perfect. Let's have a look at their domestic numbers. So we've got obviously, Tilak Verma scoring runs in the Syed Mushtaq Ali Trophy. We can see Vishnu Vinod. Tell us a bit about Vishnu Vinod, Sarvesh. His numbers in the
Yeah.
Syed Mushtaq Ali 363 at a strike rate of 160.
Vishnu Vinod is somebody I think Mumbai Indians have got him at the right time. So he has played IPL before. I think he was with RCB before. We have seen him play. So, but right now he's probably having batting at his peak. If you see his records previously and what he's doing right now, he plays for domestic cricket for Kerala, and I've been watching him. He's playing some cracking shots. He's a proper stroke maker, good hard hitter of the ball, clean striker, and he's batting at his best. I mean, when Mumbai Indians signed him in that auction, Robin Uthappa was there in that commentary panel, and he has played for Kerala as well. So he knew what he could do, and he immediately said that Vishnu Vinod is one guy that Mumbai Indians signed. It could be a very good signing for them, and that exactly has happened. We have seen what he can do last season. This season again, I'm expecting him to play a huge role, especially with Sky not there at the initial stage. Again, we'll talk about this later. Let's quickly go to the bowlers. And
And in the
yeah, in
yeah,
bowlers, one name that I wanted to point out is for Shreyas Gopal. He's making his comeback. If you remember that he was playing for Mumbai before, then he went to, he went to Rajasthan. So he's again
Rajasthan. He was
making,
with
yeah,
Rajasthan.
yeah, he's making a comeback there.
So 12 wickets in
Yeah,
both Syed Mushtaq Ali and
it's a
the
very good
Vijay
return.
Hazare for him. Shams Mulani is finally making his Mumbai Indians debut. Um, he's obviously had a fantastic run in first class cricket, and his hard work in all those tournaments paying off again.
The advantage with Shams Mulani is that the first thing is that Mumbai Indians do not have any settled left arm spinner. So Shams Mulani and Kumar Karthikeya are two guys. I have seen Kumar Karthikeya bowl a lot in all the formats, and I personally feel that he is at Ranji level in the red ball cricket. He mainly looks like a proper traditional left arm spinner. But in white ball, he actually bowls that left arm wrist spin, Chinaman, or those flippers and all those variations. He tries that in the white ball cricket. But I think if you look at a pure left arm spinner, then it has to be Shams Mulani. And Shams Mulani has been doing all these things at Wankhede, because at Wankhede and all these Mumbai grounds, Wankhede, as we all know, support normally it's a very good ground for the seamers. But if somebody is doing this kind of a job on those wickets, then I think you will have to factor that in. And down that order, there is one guy, Anshul Kamboj, fabulous. He has got a fabulous record. If you look at his Vijay Hazare Trophy record, 17 wickets. You look at the economy, bowling average, all the numbers are fantastic. I have seen R. Ashwin talk about him a bit. Even he was impressed with him after the auction. He mentioned his name and he said that this could be another good signing by Mumbai Indians. We'll be hoping that we get to see some of Anshul Kamboj this season.
Which domestic team is he from?
I think he plays from Haryana. I think if I remember, he
Right.
was I think I remember playing him in the final. I'm not too sure. I think it's Haryana.
Okay. Cool. Let's bring up that squad then.
Yep, I'll let you talk about your 11 first.
Yes, obviously, tried and tested two openers at the top. Rohit Sharma is going to the T20 World Cup. He is going to open there, so he will be my opener along with Ishan Kishan. Big IPL for Ishan Kishan. I mean, with all the controversy around him as well, being taking some leave for mental health reasons, then losing his contracts with the BCCI. So he's got a point to prove. So I'm expecting a good, strong season from Ishan Kishan to answer all his critics. Let us bet to the talking. Tilak Verma at number three, done well for India as well when given that opportunity. So definitely number three in that order. Um, Asterisks against the sky because we're still waiting with bated breath as to what's happening on that um, trial of his, the fitness test that he has to clear
Yeah,
at the NCA before he is given the all clear for the
yeah.
IPL.
It's
So
his fitness day should be today. We should be getting some news on 21st March. We should be getting some news on that.
okay, so we wait, but I'm just going with the fact that he's going to clear it and he's going to play. Hardik Pandya at five, he's also come out and said that that's going to be his role to kind of finish an innings now. And at the T20 World Cup, also, I think we see him in that role. So at number five, Tim David, being in stupendous form for Australia. Recently won them a series against New Zealand with some phenomenal hitting. And again, he's one of those fellows who can just turn a game on its head. Uh, so yeah, no questions asked. He's going to be at number six. Um, Last season, we saw glimpses of Nehal Vadera, and he was very, very impressive. Um, when I look at a player in any form of the game, I look at whether he's got a presence at the crease. And I'm glad to say Nehal
Yeah,
Vadera does have a presence at the crease. He looks confident. And the best thing I love is watching youngsters come and play the pull and hook shots.
yeah.
And Nehal Vadera, stunning puller, stunning hooker of the ball. So yeah, got a lot of time for him. So I'm going to use him in my 11. At number eight, going to play one of these three, and I'll tell you why. Depending on the surface, if it's a spinner surface, no questions asked, Nabi comes in. But because they play a lot of their cricket at the Wankhede, which is a six hitting ground, and off spinners at the 1K, not the best returns. So we're talking about either going with the South African, Coetzee, or Mario Shepherd. Now, there is a question mark against the fitness of Coetzee, which is why I've got Romario Shepherd there. But if Coetzee is fit and ready to roll, he would be my first pick over Romario Shepherd. Piyush Chawla, we've spoken at length about him, so he's at number 9. Bumrah at 11, and one name in between there is that of the Sri Lankan Tushara. Now, I've seen some videos on social media of this guy,
Yeah.
and he would make Lasith Malinga and Patirana very proud of himself. So yeah, just that X factor, that mystery factor, that slingy action. Give him a go and see how he goes.
The kind of
For the impact
shape
sub,
that he gets, that's typical slingy action outswinger that for the right-handers, and the dip, beautiful.
yeah, absolutely. I'm losing my voice here talking so much. And yeah, with my impact subs, obviously Luke Wood in there in case you need a bowler. Vishnu Vinod that you've already spoken so much about, and Kartikeya, the mystery left arm spinner that could come in handy should there be a surface that suits him. So that is my 11.
Okay, let's discuss about my team. No surprises at the top. Ishan Kishan, Rohit Sharma. Till this team is done, assuming Sky is not fit till that moment. So once Sky is fit, clearly see him coming back in this at walking at number 3. But till then, till Sky is not there, Tilak Verma at 3, Nihal Vadera, Hardik Pandya. I feel he should be batting in top 5. 4 or 5 should be his best spot, not below that, because we have seen that he's not the same Hardik Pandya that we used to see in the earlier seasons where he could come and start hitting from ball number 1. Now he needs a bit of time, so I think let's allow him some time to get used to with the wicket, and then he can smash it. Of course, I mean there's no questions about his ability. Then at 6, Tim David. At number 7, Vishnu Vinod. Like I just talked about him, good hard hitter, perfect batsman to have at number 7 and on those bouncy wickets. And then last 4. Now, if you will see that interesting thing, there are only 3 foreigners I have picked in this team. There are only 3 overseas players, and the reason for that is you can actually get another overseas player replacing any one of the batters. Now, this is done assuming Mumbai Indians bowl first, and if that happens, this is the team, and then maybe at 5 down, 6 down, you can actually go and replace someone like Nihal Vadera or Tilak Verma. So somebody you could replace one of them, and you can actually get another foreigner in, like maybe Romario Shepherd or Nabi or even Koji. I mean, any one of those guys. I mean, Shepherd and Nabi can actually bat, so they can also add bit of batting. So you can actually replace that batter while the first innings is going on. So that could be another tactical move, and then get these guys, or you can replace them in the second innings. I mean, whichever way you want. So Piyush Chawla, Tushara, and I would love to see one of Luke Wood and Mafaka playing. We have seen what Mafaka can do in the South Africa Under 19 World Cup. Great prospect. I mean, there are so many similarities between that full length in swinging Yorker that he bowls, and even Dilshan Madhushanka can bowl similar deliveries. So I think in that manner, it's a proper replacement. He's still very young. He's still only 17 or 18. I don't think he has turned 18. Fabulous prospect, hard worker, and I have seen those celebrations from him in the Under 19 World Cup. He was celebrating in that Bumrah style, and now he's going to be there in the same team with Jasprit Bumrah. He could actually start along with Jasprit Bumrah and share that new ball. So it's a great thing that has happened for this for this young. So I'm very happy to see this guy. And I remember when Marco Janssen came in, there was similar excitement. Nobody knew what to expect, but I think with Mafaka we know what he can do. So yeah, and after that, just Preet Bumrah, no questions asked. And then, like I just talked, Akash Madwal is one guy who did well for them last season. I spoke about Anshul Kamboj. These two guys are there if the team needs that another Indian fast bowler. So these two guys can always come in. So I think overall, if you look at this team, it's very difficult to form a proper 11 because there are so many quality players. Now in this team, Sky is not there, but still I'm finding it very difficult to fit in all these players. So that's the kind of quality that Mumbai have right now.
Now, they are a brilliant side. We all know that they're a champion side. I think the real test for them this season is not going to be getting the players to perform, but it's going to be what happens off the field how they all get along. Obviously, the whole controversy between Rohit and Hardik. There was a video floating around yesterday of both of them hugging. It looked a bit awkward, to be honest, but let's not read too much into that.
Yeah.
Um, and there's also the fact that there were a couple of other players who had captaincy ambitions there. There was Kai, there was Bumrah, and how Hardik Pandya manages to kind of um, manage the seniors in the side, pick up the juniors in the side, and get everyone playing as a cohesive unit is what will determine Mumbai's success in this season. Well, that brings us to the end of the Mumbai Indians as well. Not long to go. We've got 1 day to go. We've got two teams left to cover. We've got the Gujarat Titans, last year's runners up, and then we've got the Chennai Super Kings, the eventual champions of IPL 2023 to discuss. We'll bring you both those teams tomorrow. For tonight, give us a follow, give us a subscribe, give us a like, give us a share. And if you like what we're doing, please comment and tell us so, because your comments mean a lot to us and keep us going. Any closing comments, Sarvesh?
Uh, I see this team finishing in top two. That's my closing comment for today for this team. My team, you
Of
can see that
course.
from my color of my shirt. Everything is blue behind me. That's my team.
The first predictions are out. Shots have been fired. He's saying Mumbai is going to make it to the top two. Um, I've got a good feeling about them too, to be honest. I think they'll do well. I just hope that they can all play together as a team, and that will determine their success.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah. I
Right,
think
it's
that
time
should
to
be
call
okay.
it a day. I'm actually losing my voice here, so time to call it a day. Time to finish this podcast. Let me go drink some ginger lemon honey, and we shall see you tomorrow with some more action. Thank you.